What's going on, everybody? Deacon here, and no, I have not switched over and become a Redskins fan. I'm pretty much wearing this because my dad's birthday was the other day, and this is more so of a shout out to him because he's a huge Redskins fan. Basically, what I want to share with you guys in this video today is just why I stopped cursing. Now, this of course isn't me saying that, if you curse, you're a bad person or anything like that, but there was something that happened back in the early 90s that kind of helped change my mindset and why I stopped cursing in the first place. Now, what made me bring up this topic in the first place, because I remember a few years back when I was talking to two other brothers about cursing and how they mentioned when they're around their moms or their mothers that they just forget all about curse words. And I came out and said, well, the reason why I stopped cursing is because of the movie Malcolm X. They kind of all gave each other that sideways look like, is this dude serious? Mainly because one of the guys, he was Muslim, so I guess he figured, I was just saying it just because he was. And most people feel like it's because of my beliefs. Of course, when I was 12 years old, I was exposed to the church. And just like most kids, when you're introduced to church, you're mainly told what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. And cursing was one of those things, so of course I stopped. That was until about 1994, and I started playing Mortal Kombat 2. When I started playing Mortal Kombat 2, now I had a cheat code and it was a fun game, but my friend Tony can attest to this. I had a cheat code that allowed you to have unlimited continues. And let me just tell you, after being stuck on Shokan for about an hour, let's just say my religion just flew out the window. I lost it very quickly. And if anything can make me lose my patience, it's video games. And I had to say, you know what, Jesus is gonna have to forgive me later. Fast forward to February 1997. I turned to HBO and what's on but Spike Lee's Malcolm X. And I figured I read the biography of Malcolm X when I was in elementary school, so let me go ahead and watch the movie and see if I can learn a little bit more, because I already heard so much about Martin Luther King Jr. So why not see what else I can learn about Malcolm X? And while watching the movie, it was a great movie, but there was one part that stuck out to me in particular. And it was when Malcolm X was in jail and he ended up meeting a guy, Brother Baines. And it was something that Brother Baines said. He was making a lot of good points, but it was one thing in particular that he pointed out that stuck out to me the most, and it was this. A man curses because he does not have the words to say what's on his mind. As a young black male, I was thinking to myself like, man, I took that more of a challenge than anything else. And I said to myself, you know what? I know I can go without using any curse words and I can express myself in a way without cursing. So, of course, after much practice, because you know the saying, practice makes improvement, because nobody's perfect. I can honestly say that it's been 11 years since the last time I've used a curse word. That's because back in 2003, I used HE double hockey stick out of frustration because I was mad about something. Now that doesn't mean there aren't times when I'm not thinking about saying certain curse words, but even in the past, when I tried, it just didn't feel comfortable and it didn't feel right. And I knew I had the ability to use other words to express myself, even in my frustration. And having the type of ego I had at the time, I could say to myself that, you know what, I can use full sentences without using curse words to fill them in, or in my anger to use curse words. But YouTube, that's pretty much it. That was just me just sharing my story with you guys on why I stopped cursing. And if it's something that you yourself personally, for any reason, I don't care what it is, for any reason, that you want to be able to do the same thing, like I said, just put it into practice. It's not as difficult as you think. Now, of course, the temptation is going to always be there. Like I said, I still get tempted to this day. But without doing it, you're able to fit into any type of conversation. And then on top of that, yeah, people might point at my beliefs, but only thing my beliefs did is help me kind of maintain that, but it's also taught me how to talk to people in a way without being condescending or offensive, because I've learned that there still are ways that you could put somebody down or to hurt somebody's feeling that you made them wish they'd rather you cursed them out than to just talking to them in the way you did. Well, that's it. If you guys like the video, click the like button, or better yet, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, or if you haven't seen my last video, you can click on that up top. And as always, be wise, and until I see you guys next time,